It is now time for us to shine brightly here. It is impossible to ignore the fact that XRP Ripple has prevailed in the litigation that it filed against the SEC. This is a bullish indication. The price of our most favorite cryptocurrency, XRP, is currently being analyzed by specialists, and they have predicted that it might reach $587 very soon. For every single person who has XRP Ripple, that video is the most essential one. There is no way you can afford to miss it. Allow me to walk you through each stage of the process. Disclaimer, have been at the center of a storm in the cryptocurrency sector for a long time, primarily because to the ongoing legal battles with the Securities and Exchange Commission. And nevertheless, it seems as though the tides are turning in favor of Ripple, as key developments which hint at a potential end to the drawn-out struggle are currently taking place. In recent times, a tweet that was sent out by Jack the Rippler, a well-known advocate for XRP, has spread ripples throughout the cryptocurrency industry. The tweet makes a bold assertion that Vitalik Buterin, one of the co-founders of Ethereum, once said, "This statement is nothing short of groundbreaking, especially coming from a figure as influential as Buterin." In spite of the fact that the veracity of this comment is still up for debate, it unquestionably stirs up the pot in the continuing conflict between the cryptos. There is a possibility that Bitcoin, which is frequently referred to as the king of cryptocurrencies, will have to deal with this controversial endorsement. A well-known attorney who specializes in XRP recently discussed his thoughts on the possibility that the SEC may appeal the ruling regarding the Ripple litigation. Morgan provided a nuanced perspective by stating that he is ... increasingly less confident that the SEC will appeal the Ripple summary judgment decision if merely legal considerations are influencing the decision whether to appeal. If this is the case, then Morgan is expressing his uncertainty. There is a critical need for this transformation in perception. At first, Morgan thought that there was a likelihood of an appeal of 0.8020%. On the other hand, he is now leaning towards a chance of between 55% and 45%, which demonstrates his rising belief that the SEC might allow the ruling to remain. The particulars of the Ripple example are very important to Morgan's line of reasoning. Given the singular and limited nature of the facts in this instance, he makes the observation that the Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC) might not be motivated to seek an appeal unless there is a glaring legal error in the judgment. The legal environment, which appears to be favorable to Ripple, is another factor that further emphasizes this point. Morgan draws attention to the Kraken case in which Judge Oreck favored the approach used by Judge Jackson in the Binance case and Judge Torres in the Ripple case, both of which discriminate between transactions that take place on the primary market and those that take place on the secondary market. This approach stands in contrast to the ruling that Judge Rakoff made in the Terraform case, which did not differentiate between the two classes of cases. Based on the comparison, it appears that the rationale in the Ripple case might be more sound, which further decreases the likelihood that the SEC will be successful in getting their appeal heard. The decision of the Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC) to not appeal would not only be a big victory for Ripple, but it might also signal a shift in the way the SEC views the regulation of cryptocurrencies. It would be a step in the direction of making things more clear and maybe creating a climate that is more favorable for other crypto initiatives that are subject to comparable scrutiny. This is the point at which things start to get really fascinating. This legal triumph is at the very beginning of the process. There are a lot of outrageous predictions being made by analysts, and they all lead to the same thing going to happen. The growing belief that XRP is on the verge of a huge breakout is reflected in this statement, despite the fact that it may sound more like a rallying cry than an analytical appraisal. Not only is this a matter of idle speculation, developing some mind-boggling possibilities for the future. For example, Javen Marks, a well-respected market expert, recently disclosed his prediction that the price of XRP may reach $150. The analysis that Marks has provided is founded on a technical pattern that has been evolving over the course of several years. He makes reference to the price history of XRP, namely the descending triangle that emerged when the cryptocurrency reached its all-time high of approximately $3.30 during the bull run that occurred in 2017 and 2018. Marx contends that this has created the conditions for a significant uprising. The appearance of a smaller symmetrical triangle within this larger pattern is indicative of the fact that XRP is getting closer to a critical threshold, one that has the potential to cause its price to skyrocket by more than 41,000%, surpassing the benchmark of $150. On the other hand, $150 might be just the beginning. An additional analyst who goes by the name Dark Defender has set his sights on a target that is even more audacious, which is $333 total. The individual who has a history of making accurate forecasts is of the opinion that if XRP is able to overcome significant levels of resistance, it may pave the way for growth that has never been seen before. His analysis is predicated on the notion that once these resistance levels are overcome, XRP may continue on its upward trajectory, making it possible for it to hit $333. Having said that, this forecast is not devoid of difficulties. This aim has been called into doubt due to the fact that reaching such a price would require an enormous market capitalization, which has caused the concern to arise. This is followed by the most audacious prediction of all time, which was made by a Bitcoin analyst who goes by the name Flash. During the month of July, Flash caused a stir when he predicted that the price of XRP might reach an astounding $587. A symmetrical triangle pattern has been emerging on the weekly chart of XRP ever since it reached its top price of roughly $2 in 2021. His prognosis is based on this pattern. Flash claims that XRP is currently breaking out of this pattern, which can be seen on the weekly chart by the appearance of larger green candles. He thinks that this breakout might result in a nearly 100,000% gain in the price of XRP, which would rocket it to $587. Despite the fact that many people in the market are skeptical, which is understandable given the unusual nature of such a spike, Flash's analysis represents the high volatility and unpredictability that has been synonymous with the world of cryptocurrencies. It is at this point that things begin to take an interesting turn. It's XRP. After making such audacious forecasts, Ripple is not going to sit back and do nothing. Behind the scenes, Ripple is forming new relationships, which is where the actual game-changing action is taking place. XRP is being secretly positioned to take over the world as a result of these agreements, which are a big positive indicator. Consider the implications that this might have for the cost. It's possible that spending $500 or perhaps more is just the beginning. Certainly, you do not want to pass up this opportunity. According to a tweet sent out by crypto analyst Cyprus Demonenko, there is something that is quite intriguing. On the official website of the Australian government, XRP is referenced in a clear manner, in particular at the Department of the Australian Taxation Office that deals with transactions using cryptocurrencies. Although this may appear to be a trivial matter, it actually has substantial repercussions for the position that XRP occupies within the larger landscape of the financial ecosystem. There is a possibility that the tweet by Demonenko, which said XRP is used as an example directly on the Australian government website, probably nothing could be interpreted as being understated. Nonetheless, the context in this instance is extremely important. A national tax authority's mention of XRP, particularly in the context of ordinary transactions, is more than just a casual reference. This is especially true in the situation of everyday transactions. It seems to imply that XRP is not only acknowledged, but also regarded as being of sufficient significance to be utilized as a practical example in the instructions that the government provides regarding crypto assets. The precise example that is presented on the website of the ATO involves a scenario in which a person named Olivia makes a purchase of a guitar using a gift card that is denominated in XRP. The value of XRP had decreased from $1 to 95 cents at the time of her purchase, which resulted in a loss of capital for her. This illustration is meant to provide taxpayers with an understanding of how the calculation of capital gains tax is carried out when Bitcoin is utilized in transactions. The extensive explanation provided by the ATO highlights the significance of maintaining correct records and having a thorough understanding of the tax implications that are associated with the utilization of digital currencies, such as XRP, in real-world circumstances. Despite its seeming insignificance, this inclusion is significant for a number of reasons. The first thing that it does is bring attention to the increasing recognition of particular cryptocurrencies by national authorities to demonstrate a lesson about capital gains